Welcome to the Hona podcast with Mike and Michelle.
Hello, everyone. How are you? So, this is officially episode 1 of season 2 of the Hona podcast, and I think we should get straight into it. I have a nice subject which I know I threw your way, and you were like, yeah, okay, I think that's a good
Yeah.
one. So, would you like to introduce it?
So I think what we were going to talk about today would be how to choose your gel brand. What do you put as like priority when choosing a gel brand? I think this is going to be good for not just new nail techs, but also people that are looking to rebrand as well and what you're looking for.
And this isn't going to be a choose Hona, choose Hona, choose
Yeah,
Hona.
we're not a sales pitch
No,
here.
this is genuinely Charlotte's a nail tech of God knows how long, and me being in the industry, there's a lot of brands I love, there's a lot of brands which I don't like, and I think I have a good wealth of knowledge of what I would do in your situation. So this is an unbiased, what we think you guys should prioritize, and how to choose a gel system or how to convert to a gel system. I think that's a good one to deep
Yeah.
dive into.
Yeah. I feel like one of the like main job roles that I kind of do, which not a lot of people may know, is I do a lot of like one-to-one calls. So a lot of my one-to-one calls are based around conversion. So a lot of people that are looking to convert from a current brand that they're using, wanting to know a little bit more about Hona, and that's one of the things that I actually really, really enjoy about my role. Is kind of going through why you should choose Hona.
Yeah.
But like Mike said, we're not going to kind of be biased or say, you should choose Hona. But one of the things that,
It's quite literally what we would do if we weren't running Hona and we were
yeah,
choosing a gel brand. With all our knowledge and experience of being a working nail tech and running a brand, this is what I would prioritize. And I think it should give you a good gauge of what you guys should and shouldn't do. And if that ends up with you choosing Hona, great. If it ends up with you choosing another brand, at least you're, in our opinion, using the right informed information to make your decision.
yeah.
So, what do you think is one of the first things you would do when looking for a new brand?
We kind of put this out in a poll before, I feel. It was quite a while back. And there was a number of different things that were on that list of what you want to prioritize. So I think one of the top ones on there was price, which I think, at the end of the day, price is relevant to,
Really?
yeah.
I would not put, are you saying you would put price as something you would, or is that,
No, no, no. I'm
not,
just
hang on,
saying
so it's
that it
not,
was one of the things that did come up.
okay then.
So, how much a builder gel will cost you, for example, from this brand or this brand? Price was, believe it or not, one of the top things that.
Well, I get it.
that
Like,
came
at the
up
end of the
there.
day, you're all running businesses and you need it to be a profitable business. You need to have a good quality of life. Cost of living is obviously hitting us all hard. So I do get price. It shouldn't be your deciding factor, but it is a factor. So,
It is a fact.
so with regards to price, tell me why you would look at it and why you wouldn't then.
So for me personally, when I look at prices of things, I like to sort of think, right, okay, well, why is it priced at that then? Is it because the ingredients are better and it would lead me then on to other things?
Yeah.
Why is that one so cheap in comparison? Why is this got free shipping and this not got free shipping? All of those things, like you say, as a business owner, I would take into consideration.
Yeah.
So price is like an overall thing, but then I would look into, well, why is it priced that way?
Okay, so if you've seen a builder gel for under £10, that was a 20 ml builder gel under £10, why would that be a red flag to you?
That would be a red flag to me because I would think, well, why is that one in particular so cheap in comparison to, say, if I was looking at a range of like 5 different companies that I was potentially looking at? Why is that one £10 when everyone else kind of has theirs priced around a similar price point of like, say, 18? And I would think, well, is it then down to ingredients? Is it down to are they just getting it bought and manufactured and shipped all from one place, maybe in China?
It would so
it would set off some alarm bells for me for whatever
so on the
reason.
so just to play devil's advocate, on the flip side, are you saying that a £40 builder gel is going to be the best of the best then?
No, no. And again, I would question, well, why then are you £40 in comparison to these others that are again around a similar
Like
price point
18
of
to
yeah,
24,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Um,
All right, and so you would use pricing as a gauge to then looking elsewhere. So
yeah.
I think
I would
using
say as a guide, definitely,
yeah,
rather than like my sort of
and
ultimate decision.
I suppose another caveat is if pricing is like where is that pricing come from? Are they on a third party reseller like an Amazon or a Shein or a Temu and which are notorious for selling really really cheap stuff and the quality is always questionable on those. So I
Yeah.
think looking at where those are priced for and why is probably another indicator as
Yeah,
well.
definitely. So another one,
So don't buy on price alone. Use that as an indicator to look. Yeah. So you want to pull up a few brands you kind of got your eye on, and then you want to look up their pricing, and then see like most reputable brands kind of price theirs there or thereabouts at the way because that's the cost of the raw ingredients, that's the cost of the bottling, the labour involved in it, the shipping, all that kind of like makes it that price. And if somebody's dropping it very cheaply, say below £10 for a 20ml bottle,
something is being
something's
compromised.
kind of compromised
Yeah.
there. And I suppose it's your job, your responsibility to go find what that compromise is.
Yeah, definitely. So another one that came up when we were sort of like asking the general sort of nail techs was, what else matters to you? Aesthetic was a big one as
What do you
well.
mean?
So
Oh,
aesthetic,
the
the
way it
way that it
looks.
looks.
Okay.
So the way that that bottle looks on your shelf in your salon, do you have a very sort of like white neutral salon and you want your bottles to match? Does that play like a factor
Ah, I'm
in
with
your
you. So if
choice?
you're a bright pink girl power salon, a hole in a black bottle isn't gonna suit your aesthetic.
Yeah, and again, should that really
Ah,
matter when
see,
choosing
see,
or
I'm 90% one way, 10% the other way on this. If I'm being honest, 90% of me says you should not give a crap what the bottle looks like. It's what's inside that counts. It's the safety, the chemistry, the ethics behind the brand. However, I'm overwhelming 90% in that camp. However, 10% is that you always want to put your best foot forward. And if a client comes into your salon and you have 10 different brands on your shelf that don't match, or like you got a gel polish from one, a top coat from one, a builder from one, all
yeah,
going in the same lamp, that raises a little amber flag for me to think like, oh, are they all compatible with each other?
yeah,
Like,
but that raises a flag for you because you know that. But as a client, for example,
do you think?
just to look at, I would think, oh well, that doesn't look particularly neat. I would like to see, just from a client's like viewpoint
But
perspective.
does that matter? Does that matter? I'm just to be clear, I'm 90% in. The packaging does not matter,
Yeah,
but it may give a right first impression, which then leads on with a client. I get that kind
yeah,
of thing, but like, it doesn't matter unless you're trying to leave a good first impression. And yeah, I'm a bit conflicted, but I'm overwhelmingly it don't
yeah.
matter.
I think I think packaging obviously matters, and packaging matters to us because we love our
Well,
packaging
yeah. Well, we the
personally.
thing is why it matters because we take care and pride in it.
Yeah.
We take real big strong pride
Like one of
and
the
care
things
in it.
that we loved about our packaging and the fact that, you know, we had that outer cap, and that came from me just being a messy nail tech, and I always wanted to hide the fact that like my bottles never looked, you know, tidy because I'd be in a really busy working salon
You what about
with
the
lots
crusty
of
bits
stuff.
at the
Yeah,
bottom? Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
like a
yeah.
little bit of colour like leaks out here and there. And one of the things when obviously our packaging was concerned was like, oh my God, a cap on top just to make everything look neat and like look uniform on my shelves going
So
forward
yeah,
was
so it's given a
perfect.
good,
A good
clean
first
first
impression.
impression or a good professional
But I
environment.
think
So
colour, for example, like when I said, you know, like a lot of people do have like white, clean, like very neutral salons, should you then choose a white bottle to match just because it's white?
Without even looking
Without
at
even
the
looking at anything
yeah,
else?
okay, here's the info we would say then, guys. This is where I'm gonna say it. It matters to the extent if it's the last thing on your list then.
Yeah.
Does that mean? Like if you've checked everything else and do you know what?
Everything else
There's
lines
two
up.
brands you absolutely love and one's just more your vibe, but you've checked everything else on the list we're gonna go through, and that's the last thing. You love them both, and that like if that's a deciding thing, fine. But I'm gonna just say it don't matter.
Yeah.
And you're gonna say
And I'm going to say, no, I completely agree with you, because I think that, like you sort of mentioned, there's more to it than just how it looks on a shelf.
90% don't matter, 10%.
That kind of leads me on to the next point, in the fact that, when you're looking inside the bottle, the ingredients.
Visibly with your eye, or you
No,
look
not visibly with your eyeball.
pour it over
But
your head like hello.
please do not do
Hello?
that. That's a
Hello?
warning. The ingredients and actually what is it that you're using? Is that good quality?
Right, so look, we're biased here, so we're gonna try my hands not be unbiased.
And what makes it good quality?
Yeah, so like what's inside? Like, so what does the SDS sheet say? What does the ingredient panel on the back? Does it line up with what you want to be as a nail tech?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, are you trying to be a HEMA-free nail tech? Do you want to be a hypoallergenic nail artist? Like, where do you line up? So instantly, if you're gonna go, like, do you know what? I think HEMA is absolutely fine as long as in moderation. Then that opens up a lot of brands to you. If you're a nail tech who unfortunately has picked up a nail allergy and you're sensitive to HPMA, for example, which is often used to replace HEMA, that narrows your window of brands down quite drastically. And then again, if you picked up an even more severe allergy or you've got a lot of symptoms with HEMA, HPMA, IBOA, that narrows you down even further. So I think you need to understand what type of chemistry you want
Yeah.
before, and then that should narrow it down. But what would you say in that scenario?
I would also not argue, but say, like, I think you're targeting a specific nail tech there. So somebody that has had reactions before that, that's made them think, oh, okay, well, I now care what's the chemistry. But I think as nail techs, should we care more, even if we don't have an allergy, should we care more about what chemically is going on in there anyway? And I would argue, yes, absolutely. Whether you have, you yourself have no symptoms, you've never experienced clients with allergies, I still think that you as a nail tech should be aware of it, and you should make your decision on what brand that you want to use based on your own research in regards to that. So, it doesn't happen to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I went years and years and years and years and years with no reactions, no nothing. But that's still not to say that I didn't think about it and think,
And it was always in your mind.
yeah, like, what if one day that did happen?
Yeah.
And is that just the type of, like, sort of nail tech that you want to be? Or is that the type of thought that you want to have in your head constantly? Like, oh, right, okay, well, I've invested loads into this one
Yeah.
brand, and then for it to happen, do I then want to have to rebrand because of that?
Exactly.
So
And I
do I
suppose
start out on a different foot?
and it's from a how do you want to market yourself? Are
Yeah.
you putting yourself out there as someone who is nail care, nail safety, nail health is your priority, like, and not so much? Or if you're a nail tech, like you like extreme nail art, you like the long catwalk, high fashion nails. So like, what type of nail artist are you as well?
Yeah.
And that will lead you down different routes.
Yeah. Also, again, just to touch on what's inside the bottle, not just the chemistry, but like pigmentation, wear, things like that.
But
What?
like, I think nail techs are just gonna say, and correct me if you're wrong in the comments, you just want extremely high wear, extremely strong pigment. Like they just want, I think they want that. And so anything that's not that is a no-go. So that needs to be instant, yeah?
Yeah. one of the things that we strive towards and we've worked really, really hard with, and I think especially now, like with, bringing everything in-house where we're able to test so much easier,
Yeah.
in regards to like colour matching and wear and pigmentation and things like that. I feel like we've kind of got to that point now where we're extremely happy with how we've sort of got things with the level of safety that we've got them at as
Yeah.
well. So again, like pigmentation and wear and durability, obviously they are a huge thing when it comes to choosing your brands.
Yeah.
Like they are visibly what not just you but your clients sees
And I
as
think
well.
the way you find that out is you go to unbiased sources. You go to um, Facebook communities, Facebook
Forums
groups,
and things,
forums. You reach out to the brands. You reach out to nail techs that have used various brands. You reach out to nail techs that you admire, and you ask them their opinion. There is a wealth of knowledge out there, and that will be able to give you a good understanding of, do they have the gel polish opacity you will require? Do they have the durability you require? And these all add up, like all these little things, like you almost want to have a little checklist and go, yep, that's what I need, that's what I need. Okay, that brand doesn't have it. I move over from that brand, I try another one.
Yeah. I think a really important thing as well is if a brand offers trial kits, I think that is a huge testament to how much that brand believes in what they're giving you. So,
Yeah,
you can.
you won't find trial kits on websites like Amazon and all like that, where they're just trying to bang out the gel polish and build a gel in you, because they're generally poor quality.
Yeah. But
And
like, for us, for example, we've offered a trial kit, I think from day
day
one,
one,
where you get to try our full gel system. And I know a lot of brands now are doing a similar sort of thing because of the fact that, there are people that are looking for different brands and wanting to try different things out without having to make that huge investment.
yeah.
So being able to trial a full system first is so much more beneficial because you get to choose the base, the color, the builder, the top, and it gives you that full.
It allows you to trial a system without committing
Yeah.
financially, which is very, very important. So once you've narrowed down your list, it is always worth getting a couple of trial systems from different brands and seeing what works for you, what you really enjoyed. Does there, and you can go from there.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got a good one.
Oh.
Does the is the brand transparent? And I know what I mean by transparent is that, does the ingredients very, very easy for you to find them? Was the SDS sheet, which is a legal requirement, really able? Were you able to find them? Do you know what I mean? Simple, like you think these are non-brainers. Like I bet you there's go on a dozen brands now and pull off their top coat web SDS sheet. Is it easy to do that, or have you had to jump through hoops to get that? The
Yeah.
brand should make it very, very, very easy for you to get this information, because you should be having it in your salon. I know it seems like a no-brainer that everyone should be doing this, but not everyone does it. And I think that should matter to you is, are they transparent with the products they're using? So in turn, you can be transparent to your clients. Are they transparent with what ingredients are in this, or what may or may not cause sensitivities? Because again, you're going to have to share this information with clients. If you get a client book up saying, do you have 2-hydroxymethacrylate in your in your bottle, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'll have to pull off the SDS sheet, and you're like, oh, I can't find it. Like, it just
Yeah.
doesn't give the right impression. So
Yeah.
I think finding a company that shares the same transparency level which you do to your clients is a non-brainer.
Yeah, definitely. I think, for anyone that may be new to the nail tech journey, an SDS sheet is basically something that will list everything
Yeah,
ingredients wise which is in that
yeah,
product. So you wouldn't go into Asda and, say for example, buy your meal deal and it wouldn't have the ingredients on the back. And I
exactly.
think it should be as easy to find this from your gel polish brand, as simple as that.
Yeah. So yeah, an SDS sheet's gonna have not just the ingredient information in it. It would have your hazard warnings in it. It would have what to do if there was a spill. What to do if there was it got in your mouth, an eye, stuff like that. It has all the information you would need to be able to respond to a situation. And it's a legal requirement. You should have your SDS sheets in your salon. So if you stock owner, they're all on. So they're on our product pages. So you go on a gel polish, it's on there. If you go on the top coat, it's on there. And most brands I respect have these as well.
So another thing that, again, personally for me matters is, can I also find out how to apply the product that I'm using from that brand?
Oh, education.
I know I
Good
love a
one.
bit of education.
Good one.
But for example, say, and I'm going to use Amazon again as just devil's advocate, because you can buy, a gel polish on Amazon, and it comes and there is no instruction. There is no tutorial on how to use it. There's no, like,
There's no qualification check either.
no, there's no qualification check
Right.
either. And this is how allergies can happen, or this is how products can be used incorrectly to not only lead to, allergies happening, but to also not having the desired effect that you want it to have. So say, for example, it's not called a base coat, it's called something
Say
obscure.
it's our cat eye gel polish, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah.
And you buy a cat eye gel polish expecting it just to use a brush to be able to get that.
Yeah, to
Because
use that effect,
you
because
know,
don't know.
don't know, and no tutorials being made on it, no education's been
Yeah.
made on it, and you're like, well, what? That's what some brands just, they buy a product off a shelf somewhere and they stick their logo on it and they sell it. Like, I think Charlotte touched on a good point there. Is that, does that company, does that brand, that did they invest in education to be able to allow you to succeed? And it doesn't have to always just be in application. It can be in other areas like, I don't know, accountancy, marketing, whatever. But do they invest in education, which is only to benefit you, for you to get the best? And I think that's a real key one, because again, it's a no-brainer. But most brands who I respect have this, and they have it in abundance, just like Hoda has it in abundance. And I think that's like, it's the base. Do you know what I mean? It's it's the obvious foundation, the base standard, but not everyone has it, and that should be a red flag.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, it should be the base. It should be, that pure basic. Like every single time we bring something out, there is a tutorial to go along with it. Even down to like our edit boxes, for example, which contain, gel polish, detail paints, things that we already have. We will still give you tutorials on how to use those specific things.
Yeah.
Or if they're like, I don't know, like you said, nail art, for example, like it just goes along with it, in my opinion.
I agree. Education, like, it's a no-brainer, but like, it's a no-brainer because we do everything right, but not everyone does. What next do we need to cover? So should we catch up while we're done?
Catch up,
Let's
yeah.
just do a quick catch up. So we've done pricing, transparency, education, aesthetics. We could talk about one here which is maybe or maybe not controversial, but let's talk about it anyway, and you guys can let us know if you think it matters or don't matter to you, is where that product is made. And this is a hard one for me because it matters to me where it's made, but over the course of the 5-6 years we've been operating, it doesn't seem to matter that much to that many people.
No.
And that's a bitter pill for me to swallow, because we invest so heavily in making sure we get our gel system either from, it was from Chimicolor in America, it was from Germany, and now Wales. Like, it matters to us. It really does matter to us. And if I'm honest, it may matter to some of you, but it doesn't matter to all of you. And I'm going to do why it should matter, and you should be why it doesn't matter. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
I think it's not so much where it's made that matters. I think it's the transparency on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think there's a huge...
And I think what, sorry to interrupt
That's
then.
okay.
And I think why it matters that there's a lot of people have been stung just ordering stuff from say Asia and it hasn't matched what they thought they were buying.
Yeah.
And I'm not naming names, but there's a few people who know who I'm referencing and stuff like that. And I think that made us decide, like, look, we never want to put ourselves in that risk.
Yeah.
So we'll always get things third party tested, or we'll always do it ourselves. But I think that's why it matters to me, making sure where it's made matters. But other people who feel like, well, I don't matter, my iPhone's made in China.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't matter.
And,
to me.
you know,
And I think it depends if that matters to you.
yeah.
I don't think it's a major thing for nail techs. It's a major thing for me and Hona, but I know nail techs out there that couldn't care less. Like I said, they've got their iPhone made in China. They're not gonna swap it, are they, for a made in Wales Nokia 3210?
But I think, you know, again, I'll play devil's advocate because I do think, you know, you look around and everything's got made in China on. And to an extent, I think, well, okay, does that matter?
Yeah.
I think, like, you know, you referenced an iPhone. Is that going to affect your health? Is that going to give you an allergy? Are you putting that on your skin or on your nails, on your hair, or something that can be absorbed into your body?
Yeah, and then maybe that's why like it doesn't matter so much. And I think
Yeah.
without tarnishing an entire country of China,
Yeah.
like do you know what I mean? We get a lot of our nail accessories, like our brushes from it, our compact chromes and stuff like that. And that's because, in our opinion, there's very low risk with a nail art brush causing any damage. So the level of risk to reward there isn't.
Yeah.
Whereas I wouldn't feel comfortable sticking something directly on the nail plate like a base coat
Yeah.
if I didn't know without 100% certainty what was in that. And I think there's been too much industry upheaval, too much industry like damage done by misrepresentation of what's actually inside something for us to go down that. So with that, it may not matter to you, but that's why it matters to me.
Yeah. No, and I totally agree with that, which is one of the reasons why I want, like, you know, we want to bring, like I said, our gel system in-house, and that is our sort of core value there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so anything, so like nail art accessories, I always believe, like, I think the risk reward there is very different, but
Yeah.
a gel system, which in your nail tech, you're gonna be breathing in these fumes, you're gonna be applying this day in, day out. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna be e-filing it off. I believe that there needs to be extra care taken there of where it's made, where the ingredients are sourced from.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it matters. And like you said, it may not matter to you. We're just going through what matters to us and what could matter to you when deciding what nail brand to choose or convert to.
Definitely. I think that kind of relates back to the whole pricing sort of thing as well, is because a lot of the time, if you are getting a company that will have their products made in China, they are bulk buying as well, a lot of things. So obviously the price can be cheaper in that sort of sense. If they're getting everything done in, you know, Asia.
Deliver the complete product.
Yeah.
God, that would be easy, wouldn't it?
It would be easy.
Ah, you guys.
But
Look, we're doing an
think-
episode where we take you completely from start to
I
finish.
just
It's
think
hard.
the quality control is so much harder to handle when it's done that way. And I think, you know, you touched on it a little bit there, the fact that we still do a lot of like third party and in-house testing as well. I think having a company that will do everything from outside and bringing it in is far likely less to do that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So.
I've got one which may help you decide if you want to. It may help you choose another brand or not, and that does the brand owners match your ethics and morals?
Oh.
Do you know? I just thought of that one.
Do you know who you're buying from?
Yeah, like.
Does that matter?
Does it matter? Does it matter to me that I'm buying an iPhone from an American company that dodged taxes in the UK? It does bother me. Does it stop me buying an iPhone? No.
Probably
the podcast is being recorded on it right now. But does it mean more to you that you're buying the Hona gel system from me and Charlotte, who is then like taking Billy's swimming lessons with, do you know what I mean? Does that matter to you? Because obviously it matters to us. Does it matter that you're buying from um,
A company that's never shown their face, for example.
yeah, like, does that matter? Do you want to know who? Like,
Yeah.
it may be something, it may not be. Do you know what I mean? Or you may just think, no, that means absolutely nothing. And look,
There's no right or
you're
wrong.
not wrong for thinking
Yeah.
that. That doesn't mean a bean. It doesn't wrong. But it's nice to know, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
think
And what is that company doing with that profit? Are they there? I don't know, buying, I don't know, a Lamborghini or something? Well, like, what are they doing? Or are
wondering where you were going with
yeah,
that.
or like, without tooting our own horn, are they setting up a charity or foundation with it? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, where does that matter to you? It may or may not. Just I throw it out there when it came to my head.
Like not just the brand ethos, but I suppose the people behind the brand. Like, does that matter?
Yeah, and I know of a lot of brands out there that put themselves out there. So not just Hona, there's a lot of couples out there in brands who put, and I give them all the props and kudos because they're putting themselves in the forefront, especially with a gel system here, especially with an industry that is extremely tribal. We will never allow a nail tech abuse another brand on our social. If we see it in our community, in our DMs or on a post, we'll shut it down. That's not what we're about. And shout out to all those other brand owners that put their face out there, because it's not easy, and you open yourself up, but they do it because they want you to understand who they're buying from.
Yeah.
And the reason they want
And
to
the
do that is
effort it
because
goes through.
and they want to do that is because they want you to know their ethics, they want you to know their morals, and they want you to see, like, does that align with theirs? So if that matters to you, great. If it doesn't, do you know what? It's just shortening that list down, because I could name 30 brands now. If you went through this conversation and said, "Oh, do that brand match? Are they transparent? Was I easily able to get their SDS sheet? No. Okay, narrows it down. Does that brand aesthetic suit my salon? Yes, but does it matter? No. So I don't know. I'll keep them in the list then, because I shouldn't just discount them because they're a pink bottle or a white bottle or a black bottle. I should just discount them. Do you know what I mean? So we're just trying to help you narrow this list down. We'll do a recap. Don't worry.
So just to kind of like round everything up, I think you kind of said it in a roundabout way. It shouldn't just matter down to like these few little individual things that we've pointed out. It should be an overall thing that, you should take into consideration. You should take into consideration pricing. You should take into consideration how you want it to look within your salon. Even if you've got the most beautiful, pink, fluffy, girly salon in the world, that's not to say you can't put a nice black bottle in your drawer.
That would look lovely.
In my
That would look
opinion.
lovely.
But then, what is within that bottle that counts as well? Like, does that match your ethos? Does that match your values? Does it perform well? Are you thinking about client allergies? Are you thinking about risks? Are you forward thinking?
Are you a nail tech that's going to prioritize nail health, or are you a nail tech that wants to prioritize nail artistry or nail art? So you need a brand that has lots of jewels and charms and stuff. Like what matters to you?
What matters to you at the end of the day?
And what I would recommend you guys doing, and I'm being truly honest now, is like, don't just choose a brand because a nail tech you love likes that brand. That does not mean it's going to work for you. It doesn't mean that nail tech is less likely to engage with you. It doesn't mean any of that. Get a scoring system. List down all the things we've just done now and put a priority. Which one do you care about most? Write them all down. Write all the brands you think you like, or write them all down, and just go through that list, and you will end up with one or two brands to choose between that you feel match your ethics, pricing, transparency, safety, where it's made, everything. It will really make your life easier, and you're basing it on what you want and not on aesthetics or just because the nail tech down the road uses it so it looks good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to throw one more in there, and I know, I know, but it just kind of popped into my brain then.
Bonus
one then. Only because you touched on it, not one brand is going to suit every single one of your clients either. And I know that that's really controversial because everyone's like, "Oh no, you have one brand and you stick to it." Here's the clincher. Prescriptive manicures.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, okay, not one product is going to suit everyone. Absolutely not. Like, we're not all the same at the end of the day. So, does that brand that you're choosing also have different variations of things that you can offer? So, do they have regular gel polish? Do they have soft builder gel? Do they have hard gel? Do they have an extension system? Do they have a multitude of different products that you can use on your clients as well? Because if, for example, I chose my brand, but then they didn't offer something that I really needed for, half of my clients, I would be like, okay, well, maybe that's not the brand for me, type thing.
Yeah.
So that is, again, something that I think, have a little think about. What do you want to offer? What do you want to be able to do for your clients? And if, offering a huge, wide range of nail services is something that you want to do, make sure that that brand also offers that.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well done, Charlotte. So yeah, that is a episode on how to choose a brand or how to convert to a brand. You will be able to find us on any platform. We'll be on your usual streaming one. We'll also do YouTube as well. So please like, follow, share. It means the world to us. And we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Peace and love.